And we're live. We'll be here with you in a second. We're just doing some finishing touches. Hi, we're getting organized here. Thanks so much for being here. We're running a teensy bit late. We're just getting organized.
Are you hearing
I
garbage
see
truck?
yes. I mean, the teensy bit of a garbage truck, but we live in a garbage truck world.
We do indeed.
Hi, everybody. So great to see you. We have lots of friends. Leo has left many, many comments already in the chat on top of things here. Hello to David. Hello to Bonzo and Real Dreamer and Roma Steve and Urban Squirrel and Christine. Hello from the city of TIFF. Yeah, we're going to talk about Toronto. Venice is ending and Toronto is beginning, and so many movies out there. Thanks for being here with us. We took last week off. So we're back now. Let us know how we sound. We're always fine tuning. I never touch my board. Like I leave everything the same, and yet somehow it's slightly different every time. I don't know why. Steven says, "Praise be the YouTube notification." I'm glad that it works.
Hurrah!
Hurrah! So much going on, and David's in Atlanta. God bless the trash man, says Bonzo. We do want that. Hi everybody. A lot of news and a lot of things going on because Fall Film Festival is beginning, but we're always looking ahead down the road. There's always like trailers for things that won't be out for a while yet. It's an exciting time. The main thing this week was that James Gunn announced Superman, Man of Tomorrow.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Are you excited?
I am. I thought his first Superman was terrific. I didn't go past the title, so I have no idea if he's announced like who's in it or what it's about, or is Luthor back? Like I don't even know, but I'm in.
I bet David Cornsweet is back.
I'm going to say yes, and probably Rachel Brosnahan.
Just a hunch. Rough Lazy says we're coming through loud and clear. Super. Good. I love knowing that. Yeah, Man of Tomorrow, July 2027. It's never too early to start thinking about summer movies 2 years from now.
Never too early for studios to start putting a thumbtack into those dates, you know.
Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, Bonzo says the main things are Downton Abbey and Kiss of the Spider Woman. Yeah, we will have reviews of all of that for you.
Yep.
Fall is a coming. Hamilton's in theaters this weekend, though. If you never saw Hamilton as a live thing in the world, or you never saw the streaming version of it, we reviewed this 5 years ago when they shot this gorgeous filmed version of the stage production in 2016. It was right after it won all these Tonys. They shot Hamilton, and then they were always going to put it in theaters.
Yeah, it was going to originally be like in summer of 2021 or something. And then when the pandemic hit, they thought, well, what if we just like did it at home? And they did. And that was a smart move. I think a ton of people watched it. But now, you know, to celebrate the show's 10th anniversary, you get to see it the way that it was intended on the big screen. I don't know if there's a 4DX version where every time Jonathan Groff's spittle comes out of his mouth, you get splashed by something, but you know.
They give out ponchos at the door. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I remember seeing it though when we talked about it in our review. I said, I really hope this will be coming out theatrically someday because it's shot and lighted so beautifully, and like they know when to do close-ups and they know when to go big to get the perspective of everything happening on stage, like in the rewind segment of it. Yeah, everyone's beautiful to see, you know, all of them on the brink of superstardom. Anthony Ramos and Leslie Odom Jr., Renee Elise Goldsberry, and
David Diggs.
Diggs.
I am hoping that there is as much craft in the filmed version of Merrily We Roll Along, which we're getting at the end of the year. The Jonathan Groff, Daniel Radcliffe revival of the Sondheim show.
So I don't know anything about that show at all.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. It is told backwards. So it begins with this like kind of hacky Hollywood producer and his former best friend and his other former best friend. And then we sort of work backwards to see like where things fell apart between them, but how they got together in the first place. And basically it's this guy who's an up and coming talented songwriter, and his friend who's his like lyricist. And then their female friend who's in love with the musician, but it's always unrequited. And she has aspirations to becoming an author. Yeah, it is my favorite Sondheim score, and it's a show that they had it originally flopped on Broadway, and they kind of spent years sort of ironing out some of the story kinks, but apparently this last revival was really great, and I'm so glad somebody filmed it because I did not get to go to New York to see it. So yeah, Sony Classics is putting that out in I think December.
That Urban Squirrel says that Merrily is his or her favorite
Nice.
Sondheim as well. What is a song I would know from that show?
Not a
Like,
day
what's the
goes by,
famous?
maybe either not a day goes by, or oh shoot, it's not like it doesn't have Ascend in the Clowns necessarily,
Okay.
but it's great.
Cool. I look forward to all of that. Yes. Everyone's chiming in with thoughts about Sondheim. Arseny Munn says, what happened with Radiohead? They're going to tour again for the first time in like 7 years. That's a huge deal. They have not, people have done separate things. And like Johnny Greenwood has been a composer. He's, done many movie
Yeah.
scores, including what he did Phantom Thread. So,
The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert
oh,
Ford.
cool. So they're only doing European dates so far. It's like 7 cities. It begins in early November. That'd be really cool. I have seen Radiohead. I saw Radiohead at the Beacon Theater in New York, which is a really cool small place to see them. Back when I was still covering all entertainment, not just film, MTV2, which used to be a thing.
Oh yeah.
MTV2 had these $2 bill concerts. And so I got to go and cover this Radiohead concert at the Beacon Theater. And so to see them in that kind of space was so special and so cool. So I would love to see them again. But so far, they are only doing European dates. Oasis is in LA this weekend, Alonzo. Are you going to the Rose Bowl for Oasis?
I am not, but I look forward to much public fighting. I don't know are they getting along, the Gallaghers now? Do we know?
Well, here's the thing. That's their stick, right? I was driving to the gym this morning and they were doing like top 10 insults that Liam and Noel Gallagher have hurled at one another. Like that's the whole stick. And so that's why it's such a huge deal
Mm.
that they will even share the stage anymore. I mean, maybe at one point the hatred was real and now it's
You
just
buy tickets
fun.
thinking, will they show up at all?
Will they show up? And if they do, will they beat the crap out of each other?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah, so
getting
that
tickets to Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. You just want to see if someone's going to fall,
That's so funny. Our good friend Brent Luthold asked a question that I do want to get to, and that's in our list of topics here. He says, will you guys be discussing the Magnificent Ambersons?
Ugh.
Let's talk about this because it's so gross.
Ugh, yeah. So apparently some Saatchi-owned AI firm, without having any access to the copyright that is currently held by Warner Brothers, because they have the RKO library, is going to use AI to reconstruct the original director's cut of Orson Welles' The Magnificent Ambersons, which I guess is never going to be found otherwise. Remember a couple years ago, TCM made a big deal about it. They thought there might be a copy of it in Brazil that was sent down when he was working on It's All True. But I guess that came to nothing. So yeah, this is one of the legendary kind of Hollywood butchery jobs where Wells was out of the country. There was a bad test screening in RKO, like gave it a happy ending, and Robert Wise sort of supervised this edit that no one was really happy with. And it's still considered a great film, but a butchered one. And so the idea is they're going to use like the screenplay and photos of the sets and whatever to like get AI to like recreate what that would have looked like. And no, like Orson
No.
Welles, I remember the colorization craze. And Orson Welles was the one who said to tell Ted Turner to keep his goddamn crayons off of my movie, because Turner wanted to do it to Citizen Kane, And so, yeah, I don't think Welles would approve of this. And I don't think the technology is going to do it right. I think if you wanted to like say, I don't know, like if like Henry Selick said, I want to animate the missing footage from the Magnificent Ambersons. Like, okay, I mean, you do have the script to work with, and you have stills and whatever, and you're going to create this thing, and in no way are you trying to pretend like it's what would have what Wells did, but you're doing something to give us an idea of what that footage is like. But this bullshit, no.
It's so presumptuous.
Yeah.
It's so gross. I wouldn't dare to assume what Orson Welles would want.
Yeah.
Like, how foolish is that? Or any filmmaker. Someone mentioned in the comments about, The Wizard of Oz, this thing that they're doing at the Sphere in Las Vegas where
Mm.
they've extended the frame and they've added stuff. And like, I guess if you blink and you miss it, but David Zaslav has been
Yes.
placed into The Wizard of Oz, which is all kinds of wrong.
And they chopped
but
half an hour out of the movie too.
Right. Yes. Things are quicker, but you get, leaves blown at you and you
Yeah.
get to feel the wind from the tornado and all that. So some of our colleagues have gone to it. Amy Nicholson went to it.
Hmm.
I think Alyssa Wilkinson went also.
Okay.
Went out. They invited me. They're like, "Hey, do you want to come?" And I'm like, "I can't get to Vegas on a Wednesday night." You kidding?
And the tickets
but
are
also
like $300 too. Like, it ain't cheap, this thing.
Tickets are very expensive. Yeah. So I guess they were like, comping it for journalists
Yes.
or whatever. But like, yeah, I was looking just out of curiosity on my birthday, and they're between like $300 and $900 for tickets. They're really, really expensive. So yeah, they chopped the movie down, but it takes a long time, I guess, to like reset, to sweep up all the leaves and whatever. Anyway, it's
there's gumdrops everywhere. No.
Everywhere, and poppies to make you sleep. And so I just don't see how anybody can even pretend to say that this is like, a pure-hearted artistic endeavor, because it's not. If you truly love cinema and you revere a filmmaker like Wells, then don't fucking touch his work. Don't assume that you know what he would have wanted, even if he had written in notes like, "Here's what I would have done." Like, I wouldn't presume to recreate that. It's not his work.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, perfect example. Other Side of the Wind, you have a movie that 90% existed. And yeah, did they have to like create some fill-in shots for certain things? Yes. But were they working with people who had worked on the film originally? Yes. Did they have a very explicit script? And, are these all like just tiny kind of cosmetic things? Sure. But we're talking like a 37-minute chunk of footage here.
Yeah.
And
43 minutes, right?
Yeah, okay, sorry. Yeah, so
it's
even
a lot
more
of
than that. Robert Wise isn't around anymore. Stanley Cortez isn't around anymore. Wells certainly isn't around anymore. And like, who's gonna do the voices? I mean, like, who's gonna step up and like enter Agnes Moorehead's possibly greatest performance ever, Joseph Cotton, like all these people doing really great work from the Mercury Theater. This just all seems super misguided.
They're going to hire some actors, and then some of it's going to be like facial reconstruction. So gross. And what they're saying is it's for academic purposes, right? Because it cannot be for commercial purposes, because as you pointed out at the beginning of this discussion, Warner Brothers owns the rights to this.
Right.
And so they can't put this in theaters and sell tickets to it and make money off of it. Allegedly is just an academic pursuit.
Exercise, yeah.
A big what if.
And the weird thing is, if they'd asked Warner Brothers, the current regime might have said yes. The people who signed off on this Sphere thing might have been like, sure, yeah, have at it. Why not?
If you drop David Zaslav in there
exactly.
in the background,
now we're talking.
Then it's okay. Thanks to you folks who said happy birthday to me belatedly. I appreciate that. Anyway, we will keep following this. It is really interesting. It is sadly the way this keeps going, this is exactly what the strikes were about, right? This is what they were striking about, was use of AI to replace actual human beings.
Yeah. And again, like AI, there's no I in AI. It is what they call the large language model. It is basically just a plagiarism machine. And so whatever they cobble together for this thing is going to be stuff that they grabbed from other parts of the movie or other parts of other movies. And it ain't good. It's not good for art. It's not good for, I don't think it's good for commerce, frankly, or it's only good for commerce because they want to circumvent the existence of artists, and their ability to make a living in the first place. I would, by the way, recommend, if you have not watched The Other Side of the Wind on Netflix, it's really great. It is like not a, like Orson Welles sees the 70s coming and kills the 60s at the same time. Like he was
Ah,
very on his game still. He was not like some, old guy out to pasture at that point. There's also two really good documentaries, one about the making of the movie, and then one that's kind of hidden in like the extras section that's about the reconstruction of the movie.
oh, neat.
All of which is fascinating.
Yes, our friend Marty in Canada says some classics you do not touch. Yes, we agree. And then
And
our
I
friend,
don't think I'd want this happening to a shitty movie either, though. I mean, like,
right?
yes, it's terrible that it's Ambersons and it's Wells, but I don't want them to go do this to like, some William Bodine, two reel Western. Like, this is a bad idea.
It's a good example. I was gonna think of something like Shallow Hal, but yes, that's a much better example. Yash says, "I am watching Wake Up Dead Man this weekend and Frankenstein at
Ooh,
TIFF.
la di
So hyped!
da.
Lucky you. I want to see
Yeah.
those movies too."
Yeah, yeah. No, Frankenstein got some interesting, not all positive, but I mean, like some interesting notices out of Venice. And today, my good friend Dave Kittredge's documentary "Boorman and the Devil" is premiering there. I so wish I could be there, but
Cool.
I saw an early cut, and it's really terrific.
Let's talk about the things that are exciting at Toronto.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, I don't know.
I thought you knew. I thought you were on
No,
it.
I've been look. I'm so bummed about not being in Venice. I've been sort of like not reading as much of like festival news as I normally would.
Oh.
I know that Christie is there.
There's a movie called Christie, yes.
Your namesake film.
Spelled like
Yeah,
me, starring Sydney Sweeney. I saw that she was like, "Please don't ask me questions about jeans anymore." That she's and I don't
fair.
blame her. This is a
Yeah,
stupid thing. She's not
totally.
there to answer questions about her jeans ad, but that is unfortunately what has been following her
Yeah,
around.
it's directed by the guy who did War Machine, which I didn't love. But I'm curious to see how this movie goes.
Coming out of Venice, I guess, Dwayne Johnson is getting great reviews
Hmm.
for The Smashing Machine.
Yes, that one is definitely getting a lot of action. Oh, Begonia, they're definitely people are pumped about that one. The latest Yorgos Lanthimos Emma Stone collaboration. He's gotten a lot more prolific since she entered his life. Have you noticed?
They've done this is the 3rd film together now?
In 3 years,
The 4th film because she's in Poor Things. No, she's in, The Favorite. So
The
she's in The
Favorite. That's
Favorite,
right, The
Poor
Favorite.
Things, Kinds of Kindness, and Begonia.
Yeah. So okay,
I
their fourth film in like 6 years or something. Like it's yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, so I guess they screened Begonia out here this past week
Yes.
because our friend Courtney Howard posted about it.
Okay. Yeah, we got invited, but it was one of those, we won't tell you where it is until after you RSVP. And I'm like, I can wait.
Like, I need to be able to know how much time to set aside for
Yeah.
traffic. Tell me this ahead
Who
of
are you
time.
dealing with here? I could just drop everything and go to God knows where.
Brent Noak, yeah, Sydney Sweeney is not playing me. Boxer Christy Martin, who is spelled
Yes.
the same as me, which is kind of funny. Kind of funny to just keep seeing your name out there like that. It's
Mm.
really weird. Soon there will be an Alonzo movie,
Yeah,
and
let's
then
all
you'll
hold
have the
our breath
last
for
laugh.
that.
All in the Game says enough with the 15-minute ovations already. Alonzo, do ovation times matter really?
No, here's the thing. So when they measure those ovations, it's at the premiere that happens like in Venice, it's at the Sala Grande, and at Cannes, it's in whatever their big theater is. But what happens is the movie ends, everybody gets up and starts clapping, and then like they introduce the director, clap, 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 clap. And then the director introduces cast members and the writer and the whoever, clap, 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 clap. So like it's not necessarily like, oh, we fucking love this movie so much we're going to stand here for 15 minutes and clap clap clap. It's that they keep introducing new people and it would be rude not to
Oh.
continue clapping. So I think
Oh.
the key is get as many cast members as you can to show up, so that way the applause train keeps going. This is what I've been told, mind you. When I was at Venice, I go to the press screenings at 8 a.m, so there's none of that nonsense, but this is apparently how these big screenings work.
That's so funny. Yes, we have new Park Chan-wook playing at
Yes,
Toronto.
opening Christmas Day here.
Opening Christmas Day. That is very exciting. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Daniel, for your nice
Thank
contribution.
you.
Daniel says, happy to catch you guys live. Happy birthday, Christy. Have you heard of this new Mark Maron documentary? Yes. And I'm
Yes.
very curious about that.
Yeah, it's coming out pretty soon. Like we've been contacted about it, so yeah, we'll try and check that one out.
Yeah, that comes out October 3rd, I want to say. So yeah, we'll
Yeah,
definitely review that. That sounds interesting. I guess is it timed to his podcast ending? Is that why that's
probably
coming out
yeah,
then?
I think so. Incidentally, today Splitsville, which we both like, is opening wide.
Oh,
So if it
cool.
hasn't been showing near you, it may be now. And if you're in New York, the Baltimoreans opens today, which I think is really wonderful. And it's a Christmas movie, and we'll be reviewing it on an upcoming Art House Tuesday.
We're doing that, I think, next Art House Tuesday, I believe. No, no, no. Next Art House Tuesday, we're doing Twinless
Twinless.
and the History of Sound.
Yes.
But I think Baltimoreans will do
The
maybe the
following
following
when it
week.
opens wider. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff. I really like Twinless a lot, and I look forward to talking about it with you. It's a tricky one to talk about
Okay.
because you
Haven't
don't want
seen
to
it
give
yet, but I'm looking forward
away.
to it.
It's great. And then the threesome is out this week, which is better
Yes.
than its premise might suggest.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. Um, any thoughts on Tron Ares? It says PS2 vibes. I do not
Uh
have any thoughts on Tron Ares.
I did see the trailer. I was forced to. What did I go see recently?
You saw a trailer?
Yeah. Oh, maybe it was it when I went to see Prince Sign of the Times in IMAX. They had that trailer. Yeah, we're still trying to make Tron happen, I guess. And now it's Jared Leto.
Oh no.
Yes, and yeah, but Jeff Bridges is still in the mix, of course. And we don't have a Daft Punk anymore, so now it's Nine Inch Nails doing it. So like, I mean,
Oh.
I guess, I'm not mad at the Tron movies. They were never quite my jam, but I know people who really love them. So,
Eek. Yeah. Oh, James Blunt says Pixar's Alonzo. That's gonna
yeah,
happen.
not after Elio tanked. No.
That needs to happen. Roma Steve says, should I be worried about Spinal Tap 2? We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
I've seen the concern, like, how is this gonna retroactively make me feel about the original Spinal Tap? And I think we can keep that as a glorious memory there.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think a bad sequel necessarily has to taint its predecessor. And maybe it won't be bad. I don't know. I do worry that they've got a lot of celebrity cameos this time around, which I think is often the
Mm,
death of comedy.
no,
Zoolander 2 comes to mind.
no.
But yeah, I mean, Rob Reiner is Rob Reiner. He's directing this. He's not
Yes.
directed a good movie in a while, but maybe getting the gang back together will, unlock something. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that
live in
comes out
hope.
next week. We
Yeah, we'll
will
see. We'll see
review
it next
that
week.
next week. John M says thoughts on Megadoc, the Megalopolis documentary. Seeing the film, I'm intrigued to know more. Yeah, we are going to review that in the next
Yeah.
week or two. Did that just play at Venice? I
I
want to
it did just
say.
premiere at Venice, and it's about to open in the next couple weeks here. So yeah, we will be reviewing that. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I am too. I'm very curious. Yeah. Urban Squirrel asks, will you guys see the final Conjuring? We've seen
Oh,
it and we
yep.
already recorded a review. You will get that later on today when we are done chatting here. Yeah, there's just so much going on. Speaking of trailers, there's a whole bunch of big ones that came out this week. One of them is for 28 years later, The Bone Temple. This is
Mm,
the sequel now to 28 years later. This is following Ray Fiennes' character and what all is he doing with those bones?
okay. And Nia DaCosta is directing this time, right?
Correct. And
Okay.
Alex Garland wrote the script.
Okay.
And Danny Boyle is a producer, but he is not directing this time. So that comes out in January. That looks pretty cool. We love 28 years later around here. And so
Yeah.
this is pretty quick for a sequel to be coming out, less than a year later. But
Well, I mean, I think they probably went into when they geared
right.
this whole thing up, they probably had like several things in mind, and so I'm sure there was some overlapping stuff. And
Sure, sure, sure. Doing it all at the same time.
yeah.
Also, House of Dynamite. We got a trailer for that. That is the new Catherine Bigelow film.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That looks really good. That's an incredible cast. It's like Rebecca Ferguson and Idris Elba and Tracy Letts being a Tracy Letts type figure in a
Ooh,
movie.
okay, yeah, I'm in. No, I've heard very good things about that. It's like the most tense nuclear movie since like Doctor Strangelove or whatever.
It's a very effective trailer, yeah. So that is going to be October 10th in theaters and then October 24th on Netflix. We've got a few things like that. The Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein is going to have
Yeah.
a quick little theatrical run before going on to Netflix. So
And the new Knives Out.
yes, correct. So we got to check on all of those things while they are in theaters. And then the trailer for this documentary, John Candy, I Like Me, is
Yes.
out because I believe that is premiering in Toronto.
Yes, their opening night
Fittingly.
film. Yeah.
Fittingly, that makes a lot of sense. Colin Hanks directed it. Ryan Reynolds is one of the producers on it. And it's a who's who of people from that era of comedy, from Saturday Night Live. You have Bill Murray, Dan
SCTV.
Aykroyd. What's that?
SCTV.
Yes, all of that.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Eugene Levy, we have Bill Murray,
Catherine
and
O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara is in it, and Steve Martin and Martin Short, and Dan Aykroyd's in it. And anyway, so it looks like a lovely tribute
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah, no,
But
it's a great topic. I can't wait to see it.
yeah, but also touches on like his demons and his need and his addictions. And so hopefully, it looks like it is not going to gloss over some of
good.
the troubles that he
Okay.
experienced. So yeah, that is coming out also October 10th. That's on Prime Video. And we will talk about that for sure when that comes out. Stuart asks, is a Hamnet on your radar? Yes.
Hearing very good things. Yeah, looking forward to that one. Oh, by the way, speaking of SCTV people, Andrea Martin pops up in the teaser that dropped today for the Jonas Brothers Christmas movie for Disney Plus, which is directed by Oscar winner Jessica Yu.
How interesting.
Yes.
That whole combination of words you just said is very interesting.
Also has cameos by like Laverne Cox and Jesse Tyler Ferguson and Billy Lord. It looks like it could be fun.
Cool. Daniel Warren Guitar asks, did they discuss highest to lowest? We also recorded a review of that before we came to see you guys, as well as a review of the original Kurosawa High and Low.
Yes.
All these goodies await you once we end our chat. And when I go and edit all these things and post them. Yeah, DJ points out, can't believe John Candy died at only 43.
Wow.
Very sad. Yes, Command Z, Spike Lee's highest to lowest drops today on Apple TV Plus. It's been in theaters for a couple weeks and now it is on Apple. So we're doing it now. We're hearing some good things in the chat about Blue Moon.
I hope so. We got 2 Linklaters this year, and I'm looking forward to both of them. Yeah, Blue Moon is the one about Lorenz Hart, played by Ethan Hawke, who was a classic tortured homosexual. And I think this takes place entirely during the opening night of Oklahoma, with
fun.
him in a bar by the theater or something. So looking forward to that. And then he's got, is it Nouvelle Vague? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is about the making of Breathless. So yeah, bring it.
His Godard homage. Yeah. So just to be clear, Lorenz Hart was a homosexual, not Ethan Hawke.
Yes. Pardon me if I misplaced that modifier. Yes.
Comma.
Yes.
Lorenz Hart, comma. Anyway, that was good. Yeah, those all look very interesting. So we will definitely review all of these things for you. We talked about Park Chan-wook already. Okay, there's going to be a Bluey movie.
Yes,
Bluey's a big deal. Bluey's a big deal for some people.
Yes.
August of 27, this is going to come out. My son is a little too old for Bluey. Bluey began in like 2018, so he was already like 8 or 9 years old at that point. So we are not a Bluey house. I am not familiar with it, but I hear it's great.
Yeah, I hear that there are like Bluey adults out there. I've never watched the show, so I don't know. But yeah, we do have a film coming our way.
Yes. So I guess I'm curious about that, I suppose.
Yeah.
We learned from Deadline that White Lotus season 4 is probably going to shoot in France. Nothing has been confirmed.
Yeah.
And they're trying to guess where in France it might be, because France is a
Hmm.
big, diverse place. There's all
I was
kinds
gonna
of
say.
speculation that it'll be somewhere like along the Riviera, because all of them have water and you have to have like the crashing waves to indicate tension and danger, like for transitional shots.
True, but they've never done a cold White Lotus.
So here's the thing. Mike White has said he doesn't like being cold, because there has
Ah,
been the guess out there that it should be one of them should be at a ski resort. The
sure,
Alps
yeah.
would make sense, but apparently that is not
Okay.
going to be the
Well.
case. But I guess you could do it in some place like Paris, right?
I mean, I think there's a certain level of isolation that has to happen too, in terms of people feeling cut off from the rest of the world and entitled to do whatever. So I don't know. Maybe
That's
it'll be in
true.
Cannes. I don't know.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing. And then, is there a Four Seasons down there? Because they all get shot at Four Seasons resorts.
Surely there must be. If
Yeah.
not, they'll build one.
Yeah. I agree. All in the game, I agree that they need a ski resort season of White Lotus, just like visually, just to mix it up a
Yeah,
little bit.
make it look like force majeure.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, White Lotus Siberia, says Stephen Atwood. White Lotus Boise, says Daniel Zambrano. Yeah. Yeah, John Poston says Monaco. Yeah, Monaco would be
Oh
cool.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Isolated and very fancy and all
for
that.
sure.
Um, have any of you guys watched The Paper yet? This is the Office spinoff that takes place at a local newspaper. I have not, although I'm curious about it, having worked at newspapers in my life back when that was a thing people got their news from. And apparently they've already renewed it for season 2, even before season 1 began.
Huh. Yeah, I think because came out of the world of the newspapers, I feel like all I'm going to do is think about what they're getting wrong. So, like, I don't know. I've not made a beeline to it yet, but if people whose opinion I trust tell me it's good, I might.
Interesting cast. Donald Gleason's in it. There's a
Sure.
big takeout about it in the New York Times, saying that it's not Dunder Mifflin. Like, if you're going into it hoping that it's going to be exactly like The Office,
Right.
it is not. Gage, our friend Gage, says I watched the first episode. It's off to a pretty good start. Tracy Letts is in it as a flashback character.
Hmm. Okay.
So it is on Peacock.
Yes.
So
Peacock.
maybe we take time at some point to check on that. Skate Alex says I saw episode 1 of The Paper and it did not reel me in yet.
Hmm. Yeah,
Interesting.
this would be one of those things where, like, when season 2 drops, oh well, you have to watch all of season 1 and the first half of season 2, and then it really kicks in.
Yeah, it's hard. Brent says there lots of ads for it during the NFL opener last night, the
Hmm.
Cowboys Eagles game. So that is cool. I guess that makes sense to have cross pollination like that
Yeah,
in your.
if they've already picked it up for season 2, they're clearly committed to the bit, so they want to, like, drag over some eyeballs.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to check on that at some point. And then a couple folks who died this week that we want to talk about. Definitely need to talk about Graham Greene,
Yes.
who died at 73. Alonzo, tell us about Graham Greene.
Great character actor, indigenous performer out of Canada. Was in It was one of a breakthrough kind of Canadian feature film about indigenous topics, whose name is now escaping me, and I'm going to look it up real quick. But
Yes.
obviously, has been a very kind of reliable sort of film and TV guy. Most recently, had a great turn on the final season of Reservation Dogs. If you didn't see that show on FX and Hulu, but obviously probably most famous for he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Dances with Wolves, right?
Yes.
And he was in The
He was on
Green Mile.
Echo. He was also on Echo, which we recapped on our
Yes,
Patreon. He was
yes,
lovely
yes,
in
yes.
that.
Absolutely. So yeah, just like one of those guys where you see the name in the credits, you think, okay, well, this movie can't be all bad. It's got Graham Greene in it, So I think very eclectic and opened a lot of doors for people, in a period where they were not, doing a lot of casting of indigenous actors.
For sure, and could bring gravitas, as we like to say, but
Mm-hmm.
also like a sly sense of humor. Yeah, would elevate anything that he was in, and as you say, like important for like busting doors open. For
Yeah.
sure. So that is yeah. So Brian says Graham Greene was Oneida. Is that what kind of the tribe he was in? Okay, thank you. Oh, Christine says he was also on the Red Green show up in Canada. I don't know what that
Oh,
is.
it's sort of their home improvement. The running,
Okay.
he was like a fix it guy, but the running joke was he just used duct tape for everything.
Okay. Teddy says Graham Greene was a roadie until someone approached him about acting.
Wow. Oh, that's
That's
cool.
so interesting. He does have a great face, or he did have a great face, you know?
Yeah.
So that's very sad. And then Giorgio Armani, 91 years
Yes.
old.
Woof. Well, Italian food will keep you alive.
Yeah, Giorgio Armani, I mean, think about how many things look the way they look, like classic 80s things look the way they look because of Giorgio Armani, right?
Yeah, I saw there was a piece about like his contributions to different films, and like, I mean, American Gigolo, that crafted not just that character, but I mean, kind of the look for the next several years of what men were supposed to dress like.
Right. Miami Vice, just that
Hmm.
kind of like the soft look.
Yeah,
Yeah, so just a legend and did, many red carpet looks for so many stars and
for
just
sure.
a name that, goes beyond fashion, you could buy Armani cologne or sheets
Yeah,
or whatever. So,
Exchange and Emporio.
yes. David asked, Christy, did you guys see the interview between Bill Maher and Woody Allen on the Club Random podcast?
I didn't. I heard the quotes where Woody Allen said that Donald Trump was easy to direct in celebrity, and I was like, I don't want to know any more of this, and so that's all I
Okay.
read.
Yeah, that's enough. Jimmy says, "Do you have any Armani in your closet?" No, we are poor, struggling
Yeah,
film
I got
critics.
not me. Maybe a tie somewhere. I don't know.
Right, I'm wearing a Madewell T-shirt and Madewell jeans right now. Who are you wearing?
I'm
I'm
wearing my
wearing
own
Madewell.
merch.
There you go. Thanks so much to all you guys for being here. Good to see you. Yeah, so look out later on today for The Conjuring, allegedly the final Controverse
Mm,
movie, and then Highest to Lowest and High and Low. And then
yes.
over at our Patreon, we're going to catch up with Peacemaker. I don't know how you're feeling about Peacemaker, Alonzo. I'm not feeling Peacemaker so far.
It's this season's off to a bit of a rough start, but I live in hope. Real quick before we go,
Yeah, yeah.
our friend David Zeev sent a question my way because he's seeing
Oh,
Splitsville on our recommendation right now. But he said, do we think that streaming is killing off theatrical distribution for documentaries? And it's a valid question, I think, because
mm,
so much of, I think, like the celebrity documentaries being picked up by the likes of like HBO, certainly, and I think so much of what's happening in the true crime sphere is being turned into these limited series as opposed to feature films, or in general, I think docs are leaning towards like, oh, we could do 4 episodes instead of just trying to cram it all into 100 minutes or whatever. I do think that we are seeing fewer docs on the big screen. They're not gone, but there's not as many as there were back, say, in the Michael Moore heyday.
yeah. So many of them are on Netflix. So many of them are on HBO Max.
Yeah,
We are in the middle of the yogurt shop murders right now. And there's always some true crime. I think it's a lot of them are easy and like digestible, and
sure.
maybe they're about something disturbing or gross, but you can like watch it while you're doing something else and kind of get sucked into it. And yeah, it's too bad. So, but like with this John Candy documentary, for example,
Hmm.
that's gonna play on Prime.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think also, it kind of comes down to funding sources, and so like if Netflix and Prime know that, or Hulu know that they can get an audience for this stuff, then that's where you get your budget, and then that determines where you're gonna wind up, and so it's not like Warner Brothers, non HBO Warner Brothers, Pictures is stepping up to like get docs made. It's these streamers. So yeah, I think that's where it all kind of, the it becomes an Ouroboros of like, oh, people like docs on streaming pay for docs, and then it's going to be on streaming, and that's
It
all it
makes it
is.
easy, yeah. Our
Yeah.
friend Teddy says he drove an hour and back to see the Jeff Buckley documentary. Yeah,
Wow.
and that's really good, and it's beautifully made. So that's one where I do think it would benefit to see that on a big screen. Yeah, Brent says "Won't You Be My Neighbor" was the last time I saw a documentary in a crowded theater. I can't recall seeing documentaries in a crowded theater. I've done a lot of Q&As after documentaries, and I can't recall that most of them are, they feel pretty specialized. I don't know.
Yeah, Dave and I went to see Pavements, and we were literally the only people in the theater. So
Oh, that's too
it's
bad.
fine. We could
Anyway,
chat.
yeah, we like to review them here though on our channel. I
Yes.
think not a lot of channels review documentaries, especially like music docs. We love doing those. So like, yeah, like that Billy Joel one was a 2-part thing.
Yeah.
5
So
hours of Billy Joel.
for people that want that sort of thing, I will say, like, going to see Sign of the Times was. That movie didn't look great in regular size. It really doesn't look good in IMAX size, but the sound was amazing.
Oh.
So, I think there's films like that where you just want to be able to hear them in the theater, and so like I haven't seen the Jeff Buckley one, but I imagine that's one of them where you just want that delicious, mix that they've got going on there.
Yeah, for sure. Like the Led Zeppelin documentary. It was like being in a
Sure.
concert. That was so
Yeah,
cool.
it was IMAX only, right?
I don't know if it was IMAX only, but it was IMAX.
Boy,
Anyway, so
howdy.
great to see you guys. Thank you for that question from Dave Zeev, and thank you to all of you for being here. I think we're back here again next Friday, so come on back and hang out with us and be on the lookout for all of the fall stuff that's coming our way. It is a very crowded September, and so we will be here for you for all of it. So
For sure. Have a good weekend, everybody.